how to best handle objections during recorded webinars. That's where I was going to go today, is objections. And I think Isabel asked that. So Isabel, can you, and then we'll get to Patty. Isabel, can you open up? And I want to visit with you about the objections that you're getting.
Sure. So kind of objections I'm getting during, so I run recorded webinars for selling courses. And the rejections are, the typical, I don't have enough time to do it. I'm already enrolled in a different course. Or, of course, the typical as well, I can't afford it.
Okay, so let's go here. What I want you to do also is search on the website at SPA, type in the word objections, and you will, I don't know where it is on the website. It's in I created a document for a company called Isogenics, multi-level marketing. It's about 70 pages of advanced objection elimination. And you'll find all the basic ones in there. No, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough money. All right. So, and they're all written out for you. I want to think about it, all this kind of stuff. Right. So let's start digging in here because this will help a lot of people. And I don't think I've ever done a live on objection response. Also, the way that I respond is using neurolinguistics. Many people in the past, in the 50s and 60s and 70s, taught what I would call objection response. This person says that, you say this. They say that, you say this. And it just becomes like ping pong back and forth. What I do with objection response, I don't call it response, I call it objection elimination. Because once you get under the objection, because the objection is caused by a belief, once you get under the objection actually crumbles. So let's play with this. And I'm a little rusty because I don't do this anymore per se, even though I've done it for a lot of years. I just haven't really done it like on a daily basis for the past 18 months. But let's start here. So number one, what is your product? What is it that you sell? Something evergreen, right?
Yes, I do. So it's a Pinterest marketing course.
Okay. Now, first things first is there are two kinds of objections. Those that you bring up first and those that they bring up first. When I know people are going to have objections, I answer the objection before they ever bring the objection up. And the reason why is because if you have to answer an objection, you are now playing actually defensively. They put you on the defensive. So where I want to play from is offensively, meaning I want to drive the game as opposed to letting them drive the game. And then I've got to actually defend, which means I've got to defend myself against that person. So, all right, so how much is your course?
$497.
Okay. In your industry, is that high? Is that low? Is that middle? Where is that?
It's relatively high in the industry, but it's overall, though, for a course, it's low. But for Pinterest marketing, it's a bit high.
That's what I should have said. Is it high for your marketplace, which is Pinterest marketing? Mm-hmm. I don't see a lot of stuff out there. Okay. So if it's evergreen, how are you answering objections?
So at the end of the webinar, mm-hmm. I just go through a series of questions that I know that people would typically be asking me during a live webinar.
Okay. What you want to do also, and then we'll dig in here, is over in there's a tab somewhere that says ZES or Zero Effort Selling here on the site. You want to download that program, and there's a PDF in there that's titled 17 Language Patterns. So, all right, let's role play first. So I want you just to do it as you've been doing it, okay? So, Isabel, I like your course, but, I don't know. I think it's good, but I can't afford it. Where would you normally go with that?
So typically I would talk about, the question is not the investment. The question is how many times you will make the investment back in terms of getting clients, in terms of getting new students and everything.
Okay, what you just did is called a reframe, but it's not in the right place. The reason why is because I just said it's about money, and your reframe, you came in with your reframe too quickly, all right? Because it is about money, because I'm asking about money. What you're trying to do is reframe it and make it not about money, but in that objection, it is about money, okay? So normally where you would go is you would say, well, it's not about money. It's about how many times that this investment's going to return to you, mm-hmm. right? Okay. I don't have enough information yet, but I'm going to ballpark, and I'm probably in the ballpark here. I'd say, you know what, Isabel? The fact that you're on this online training means that you want to grow your Pinterest following. Is that correct? Right? You're going to say, okay, what I'm doing is I'm already leading you. And then what I would say is, What is the purpose, or for what purpose do you want to grow your Pinterest following? What are most people going to say?
It's to get more students for their own courses, or to get more clients for their own coaching practices.
Got it. So you want to make more money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Isabella, have you noticed that the fact that you're here means that you're not making the kind of money that you want to make, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm offering you the opportunity to make the kind of money. And then what you're saying is that you don't have enough money to even invest in the course to make more money, right? Mm-hmm. So if you continue to do that, where do you think that's going to lead you a year from now?
Okay.
Now, role play with me. Where do you think it's going to lead you a year from now?
Yeah, they're just basically, I would just stay stuck where I am, right? If I'm not changing anything, I'm just going to be where I am.
Well, yes, but no, you're going to be actually worse off because you're going to lose a year worth of income. So let me ask you this. If you could double your following on Pinterest, how much money would that be to you in a year?
Got you. Yeah. How many clients you would get from that?
Well, no, role play. What would that mean to you in terms of dollars?
It could be thousands and thousands, right?
Okay.
So thousands, yeah.
What you're saying is you'd rather lose thousands and thousands of dollars over $497.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I mean?
I see where you're going with that. Yeah.
But stop character.
I suck at role playing. I know.
Okay. So what you're saying is you would rather lose thousands and thousands of dollars as opposed to investing $497, right?
Yeah. Obviously not. That's
okay.
That. Yeah.
Well, that's what you're saying to me. That's literally what you just said, is you'd rather lose thousands and thousands. So right now, Isabel, you have one of two choices. You can either invest $497, and by the way, I'm coming out of role play. Do you have a guarantee?
Yes, I do. 30 days.
Okay. So what I would say is, you know what? You can either invest $497 to grow your business, and you're not going to lose anything, because if I don't help you, then you know what? Obviously, you can ask for a refund because there's a guarantee. So you have zero risk, or you're going to risk losing thousands and thousands of dollars. But see, Isabella, it's not just thousands and thousands over the course of the next 1 year. If you look at how much longer you're going to do this, and let's say you did this 10 more years, now you're not losing 5,000 a year or 5,000, you're losing 50,000. So when you look at it that way, you're not willing to invest $497 to risk or to stop you from losing $50,000. And you know what? If you are, I can't help you, and you're in the wrong place, because a year from now, you're going to be exactly where you are, if not worse off. So what I want you to do, if you're serious about growing your business, is go below, click the link. You've got zero risk. Get registered, and I'll see you in the training.
Got you.
Okay? What else do we got? What other objections?
Oh, the other objections. I'm already in too many other courses. I don't have the time.
Okay, so there's literally two objections there. So let's go here. The fact that you're here means that all those other courses that you're in, they don't work for you, right? Because if they worked for you, you would not be on this particular call. If you had what you needed to grow your business, you would not be on this live training. So the way that you're evaluating this is you're already in too many other things. So right now and I find people a lot, you've got one of two choices. You can continue to waste your time in those courses that don't work, or you can get registered for my course and my program, which does work and give 100% money back guarantee, and you can grow your following. So do you want to continue wasting your time, or do you want to grow your business? Which is it?
Okay.
All right. So that answers those two objections. And anyone else that is even in TCP, if you've got objections, let's do objections on this call. And then you could say, for example, let me ask you this. How much time does your program take a week?
It's just a few, like 3 or 4 hours.
Per week, right? Okay. Isabel, are you serious about growing your business?
Yes.
All right. So we already know that you just said you don't have time. I'm just role play. So how much time are you wasting on these other programs that you're using?
8-10 hours a week.
All right. What if we could cut that in half to 3, or more than that? We cut it to 3 hours a week, but you get better results. Doesn't that make more sense for you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not a matter, this is the reframe, it's not a matter of time. It's a matter of investing your time wisely. Or it's not a matter of time. It's a matter of investing your time in something that's going to give you an ROI. See, Isabel, all those other programs, what you're doing is just busy work. and you're wasting your time doing busy work, and it's not getting you the results that you want. So let's stop doing the busy work and let's start doing the work that's actually going to create the revenue that you want for you. That's what my program will do for you.
I love that. I love that you use the word busy work, because that's exactly what my audience is using as well.
Well, that's why, notice the language. This is not classic objection response. I'm taking where they are in their mind, and I'm actually what I call binding them. I'm putting them in a bind to where they're like between a rock and a hard place, and they can either stay there or they can move. And the way that I make them move is when I say things like, where are you going to be a year from now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can also say this. There's so many places you can go with this. Well, let me ask you this. You say that you don't have time. How much time do you think it takes? Because we don't know. When she says, or they say that they don't have time, we don't know what that means. But when you say, well, how much time do you think it takes? Now you're eliciting. And they could say, well, it takes 10 hours a week. Well, that's great. It doesn't take 10. It only takes 3. See, you're going to come out 70% ahead of your time because it's only 30% of what you thought that it was. Now, let's say they say 10 hours and you say 3. You've automatically busted their objection that they don't have time because they were thinking in terms of that many hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another place you can go with this is you could say, when they say they don't have time, where I'd go with this is, I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm going to role play here. So, Isabel, you just said you don't have time. But you said you spend 8 hours a week doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're wasting all this time with busy work. I don't know where I'm going to go. Okay, but because there's so many places that I can go, and to me, I've done it for so many years, it just comes out of my brain.
Yeah.
But I would look at also, okay, what I'm thinking through here is when I take time, how do I put time a year from now and make them see that they've wasted a whole year? Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. You know what, Isabel, you talk about time, right? And the fact that you're mentioning time must mean that time is valuable to you, right?
Yep.
How are you going to feel because you're talking about time when you've wasted 1 year of time on busy work that doesn't grow your business?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you've taken time and you've actually turned it into waste, and waste for a year, which makes them lose money.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. What else do you need today?
There's one that I find tricky,
Sure.
and it's one where they tell me I don't know that I can do it. It's more like a self-confidence issue. They don't know that they can believe that they can actually do it, that
Okay.
they have what they, and it's all wrapped into like, I'm not techy enough, I'm not this enough, and it's.
Let's do this. There's 2 ways to go with this. When they say they can't do it, that applies to one of 2 things, either technology or to self-efficacy, believing in themselves, okay? So if somebody says, you know what, Isabel, I don't think I can do it, the first place I would go is, well, what does that mean? So let's role play. What does that mean, you can't do it?
I don't know that I'll be able to create all the graphics and everything, like all the marketing that's required. I don't know that I'm able to do that.
Okay, so now let me dig in with you here. In your program, do you teach them to create graphics or where to have graphics done?
I teach them how to do it themselves.
Okay, and be open with me so I can help you here.
Mm-hmm.
To what degree of difficulty, like 10 is really, really high, to what degree of difficulty is it to create their own graphics?
It's like a 3 or 4 because I give them templates and they just have to plug in the words and change colors.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do here. We're going to use a metaphor here. I would say something along the lines of, have you ever posted on Facebook before? Mm-hmm. Yes. You ever dropped a picture on the Facebook before? Yep. You ever tweeted before? Maybe yes or maybe no. I'd say what I'm looking for is a metaphor to show them that they've already done all this, everything you want them to do, but they've done it some other way, in some other place, some other venue. Because I'd say, for example, little things like, you ever sent an email before? Because email is nothing more than dropping text into a template. That's all that it is, right? I mean, when you open your email, it's a template. Mm-hmm. And then I'd go for a bigger metaphor, and I'd say, you know what? If you can post to Facebook, and you've done it before, you can do this program because I give you every single template. All you've got to do is put your own words in the picture. If you can put your words in a picture, which you told me you've already done, then you can do this program.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I get it.
What do you normally tell them?
For that specific objection, I use bonuses that I have in my course. So I say, don't worry, I don't use a specific metaphor. So instead I walk you through it. I give you templates. There's a word I use for
I
them.
wouldn't go there. You're already 2 steps ahead of them. I would go right in front of them and use a metaphor, because when you say, have you done X, Y, Z, and then you've done A, B, C, and you've done E, F, G, and they say yes and yes and yes, now you're demonstrating to them that they can do it, not telling them they can do it. What you do is when you go to the bonuses, you're adding bonuses to an objection that you haven't overcome yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because when you say, well, I'm going to give you blank and blank and blank, but you know what? You haven't answered my question yet to satisfy my question as to whether or not that I can do this. When you satisfy that, now I want to know about the bonuses, but I'm not there yet.
Gotcha. Okay? Yeah. It's really tying it back to the metaphors, just make it so easy for the subconscious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Download that PDF. It's Isagenix, and if not, we'll make sure we get it to you. It's type in Isagenix objections. Okay, it's literally like a 70-page PDF, and I have probably 10 different responses for I can't afford it. When people say they can't afford it, 9 times out of 10, that is a smokescreen, literally. Because where I work from, and not everyone's the same, but where I work from is there are some people that truly cannot afford my programs. And if that's the case, I don't really think they're a good fit for the program. And especially like my advanced programs, like my transformational program, because if they can't afford that, for most people, if they're like borrowing money, they're already doing something really, really counterproductive in their life. So there's going to be a lot more work for me with that person. 9 times out of 10, it's when people say they can't afford it. What they're really saying is, you know what? I don't see the value yet, or I don't believe that it can work for me. Mm-hmm. You can even go that direction. You can even say, you know what, Isabel? 9 times out of 10, when people say they can't afford something, it's not that they can't afford it. It's that they really can't see how it can help their business, or they don't believe they can do it. Which of those 2 apply to you? Or you can go somewhere else, which Jill talked about in here. Here's something you could do, is you could say this. Because the reason people don't act is because of a lack of certainty. When people are certain about something, they will take action. When they're not certain, they will not take action. So that's it, Patty. Thank you. The objections there. What I would say is this. I would say, you know what, Isabel? Let me ask you this. If you knew absolutely for certain that this program could grow your business, you'd go get the $497, wouldn't you? Or you would invest the $497. Notice the way that I said it, Isabel. I'm going to take it apart. If you knew absolutely for certain that this program could X, Y, Z, whatever it is they want to create, if you knew absolutely for certain this program would X, Y, Z, you would get enrolled, wouldn't you? 99.9% of the time they're going to say yes, because they're wanting that program to be their salvation. And then what I would say is, well, you know what? You have 100% guarantee. And the only way you're going to know for certain is to get enrolled. And then once you're enrolled, you're going to discover that this is exactly what you have been looking for. Let me be honest with you, though, Isabel. I'm going to tell you right now, if you enroll in this program and you don't do anything with it, it's not going to get you the results. So you know what? Let's save both of our time. Skip the program.
Yeah.
If you're serious about growing your business, get enrolled. And as I just said, the only way you're going to know for certain, and that's why you're not taking action yet, is get enrolled. And you're 100% protected. Another place you can go with it, okay?
Beautiful.
And then read that document and then mix and match the PDF, mix and match what you want. It's all pretty simple stuff. It also comes to practicing. All of my objection response has neurolinguistics in it, which is called NLP. It's not just simple, basic back and forth languaging. It's all designed to take apart the objection. Everything that I just said is designed to take apart the objection. Another place you can go with this is somebody says, you know what, I'm not certain it'll work for me. And you can go here. If they've got a lot of resistance, you could say, you know what, Isabel? You're right. I'm also not certain that will work for you. If you're a person that enrolls in every course in the world and you don't take action with that, then you know what? It's not going to work for you. So why don't you go ahead and click off now and we'll part friends, because it's not going to be a good program for you. Another direction you can go with that is, you know what, Isabel? This program may or may not be for you. But here's the thing. You're not going to know that. Right now you're sitting there you're throwing darts with a blindfold on. You're blind. See, but you're not going to know until you get enrolled. So if you knew absolutely for certain this program could help you, you would get enrolled. Notice you would get enrolled, wouldn't you? You're leading them. They will say yes. Well, great. Get enrolled. And when you do, you'll discover that this program can do everything that I tell you and more. And you know what? By small chance it doesn't, you're still covered. You've got 100% guarantee. So nothing to lose and everything to gain. Mm-hmm. How long is your guarantee?
The refund, 30 days.
Okay, and it's all digital, right?
Yes.
Okay, I wouldn't do 30-day guarantee. I'd do 60.
Okay.
And the reason why is you'll have less returns at 60 days than you will 30. For example, what is your refund rate right now?
0.
Okay, you know what that means?
I know the price is too low. I know I need
exactly what it means.
I have some mental blocks to overcome.
You should run a 2 to 3% refund rate.
Yeah.
Providing you're doing a really good product, 2 to 3%. If you're getting 0 refunds, that means your product is underpriced.
Yeah.
So we all think, well, 0 refunds, that's amazing. That means you're losing a lot of money. So if it were me, depending on what your program can really do. I mean, if your program is really the bomb and it can do it, I'd probably raise my price point to $7.95. Number one, I tell people all the time, and people don't listen to me, but I tell them all the time, is that the higher the price point, the better results you're going to get. Why? The better results your student's going to get. Why? Because the more money they invest, the more they're like, you know what, I paid $795 for this program. I better use it. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. But if they pay $495 or whatever it is, and by the way, I changed it to $497, $797, etc. If it's a lower price point, they're kind of like, I just bought it, it's $497. I bought a program from a guy named Alex Becker. The guy makes probably, I don't know, $10 million, $5 million a month. He's a mega online marketer. And I bought it because one of my friends who was doing some of my marketing for me wanted the program. $497. Never even opened it. Haven't even touched it. And that was like 3 or 4 years ago. But if I paid $2,000 for that, you better bet I would have dug into that program. Mm-hmm. So what are your money blocks?
I think so. I've already increased it from $297 to $497.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking to, I want to add some, I know they're all excuses. I want to add some bonuses to it, a little bit more things before I bring it up to $997. But I know the program is really good.
Stop.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're doing this absolutely backwards. You are actually pricing your program by volume of program. The way we should price our programs is by result of program, not volume of program.
By the value, yeah.
Well, what it creates for people.
Yeah.
We should price the program for the outcome, not for the volume. I used to coach a guy, and I've got my own following now, but I used to coach a guy named James Wedmore. Do you know who he is? Okay.
Yeah.
So I coach James 1-to-1, and we're really good friends on coaching calls. Many times people want the entire hour. Like if you're going to coach me for an hour, I charge $2,000 an hour. Well, then they want the whole hour. James is like, we've already covered what we're supposed to cover this week. 12 minutes in, I'm done. And that's the way we really want to do it, is that we're charging for the outcome, not for the volume. So by charging for the volume, you should make it a lot more work for yourself. So for example, if I knew that I could give people a formula and it was 1 page long, literally it was 1 page, but I knew it would create massive results for people in their Pinterest marketing, I'd have no problem selling that 1-page 7-step formula for $1,000.
Yeah.
Notice what I'm charging for, the end result, because right now a lot of people charge for their time. I don't charge for time, I charge for outcome. And I don't do much 1-to-1, but I had a really big marketer who interviewed me, and he goes, Jim, you should charge $100,000 for coaching. For the same 12 weeks, $100,000 is what he said I charge for it. And he makes millions a year. And he goes, and then he did say, well, charge that, but don't charge me that. Charge me the $25,000, not the $100,000. But I don't do much 1-to-1. But Adrian, I see Adrian on top here. I'm still toying with, and I don't know yet. Adrian's from TCP, and so is Jennifer. I don't know. I might even raise the investment in my transformational coaching program to $5,000 and have even less people in it. Why? Because I've got a tighter knit community at 5,000 that are more serious than even a larger community at 3,000. Some are serious, some are really not.
Mm-hmm.
Pricing is everything, guys, and you always want to price yourself at the top of the marketplace. Always. You might not believe it yet. I didn't believe it years ago. You will get much better students and much better outcomes pricing at the top of your market than at the bottom. And that might exclude Adrian because he's selling a product and he's got competition with that product. His product is mass. But for any of those selling any kind of coaching or training, you always want to be at the top of your marketplace.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not even there yet. I mean, I think Tony Robbins charges more than I do. And I should probably raise the price point even more in the fall, which I haven't decided yet. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Okay. I do realize I need to increase the price. I know.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think $497 is a lot of money?
It's not. For what the program does, it really isn't.
Notice what you're just saying right now, okay? So what would the typical user, meaning somebody who applied, and of course you got a very broad marketplace and a lot of people, but what kind of yearly gain could I expect to get from this program, income-wise, on average?
I haven't figured that out. That's a good question for me to figure out. But I have a lot of students that go from 0 to 1,500 email subscribers in less than a month. So it can, in terms of their leads, can grow very fast.
Okay, we're talking leads. We're not talking ROI yet.
We're not talking ROI. I haven't figured that out, but that's a good point.
So you're saying they could go from 0 to 18,000 subscribers in a year on average.
1,500.
Which is
email subscriber in 1 month.
Which if they do that every month, that's 18,000 for the year.
Yes, that's
right. Okay. Here's something else. That if you have, and I've seen people do this, if you've got a small list, like I have a really small and very, very tight list. I think I probably have 7,000 on my list. But I have a 42% weekly open email rate. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell all of you guys something. If you've got a small email list, 3, 4, 5,000 people, and you've got extremely, extremely good content and a high open rate, you can make over $1 million a year off from that list. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they're highly responsive people on the list. Mm-hmm. So notice what you just said and what you're doing. You're building potentially 18,000 people in terms of an email following, and you're getting $497 for it.
Yeah.
Basically, why don't you just give it away free at that point?
You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
Raise price points. If it were me, I'd raise the price point to $997.
Yeah. I think waiting for bonuses, and I saw once somebody's made comment, it's just wasting people's time and it's wasting my time, and instead focusing on the outcome.
Yeah, and very few people give bonuses that I think are really all that great. Most people just do it. They call it bonus stacking. I don't bonus stack. As a matter of fact, when I promote TCP, the Transformational Coaching Program, the first time James and I did it, James said, "What's your bonus?" And I said, "There is no bonus." I said, "If transforming your life is not a bonus enough, then why would I give you any other bonus?" So even now, when I promote, and Adrian probably watched the training, I just see him on the first line of videos, I don't do bonuses. And the reason why is because the program is going to do the work for you, not the bonuses. And like, for example, like Adrian, he's here, and Jennifer's here. This is a bonus, but you know what? When they register, like Adrian, you didn't even know you were getting this, did you, when you registered? He didn't, they didn't know they were even getting it. I didn't even say, "Oh, guys, here's a bonus." I actually got them enrolled in the program, and then later I said, "Okay, now I want to give you guys this bonus." But I didn't use the bonus for in any way to entice them. And the place that I work from is if whatever I promote is not bonus enough, and I've got to tack on a bunch of steak knives and everything else like an infomercial, then guess what? I'm not selling my program effectively enough.
Mm.
Okay?
Gotcha.
Got it. Perfect. All right. So Jill's now. Okay. Thank you so much, Isabel. Great question.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Jill, you had a question about what were they saying? I've tried everything. Jill?
Hey, Jim. I don't know if that was me.
That was you.
Oh, that was me. Just an objection. I was just adding to her objections. Just saying that's one that I've heard people have had, and I've had too, that, I've tried everything. I've hired so many coaches, taken so many classes, spent so much money, haven't gotten the results that I wanted. How do I know this will work? And you've covered it.
Let's go here.
Sure.
All right. So you just said you've tried everything, right?
Well, yeah.
You've tried every program out there.
No, Jim, I haven't tried everything, but I feel like I have.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter how we feel. You just said you've tried everything. So now what you're really saying is that you haven't tried everything.
True.
right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you fully considered the idea that maybe you tried all the wrong things?
Good point.
And so what you're saying also by your argument is that if you tried everything and nothing works, that means there is nothing at all that works out there.
Right, which cannot be, which I don't believe.
You don't believe. So what you're really saying is that what you're saying is that you haven't tried everything. You've simply tried the things with the people and the programs that don't work for you.
Correct.
So we still know there are some things that work, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let me ask you, Jill, so that you make a great decision for yourself this time. We know you've already tried the things that don't work. Let's make a decision in a different way and go a different direction. How will you know, or what are you looking for to convince yourself that a program will work?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess I want to trust both myself and the coach or the person I'm investing in.
Oh, hang on. So now it's not about the program and trying everything. It's about you.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm the common denominator. I'm the one that invested in all these programs, all these coaches, spent all this money, and nothing has worked. So I must be also at fault.
No, everything has worked. You haven't worked.
I haven't worked. Okay. Right. Yes.
So you know what? If you're going to do that the same way this way, then save your money. Because you're not helping me, you're not helping you, because guess what? My team's going to have to refund you later. It's just a pain for all of us. So really, it's not about the program, it's about you, Jill. So let me ask you, what has to happen with you to make this program different?
I have to step it up and be a different person.
Okay. How specifically would you do that?
Well, showing up, obviously.
Which you've done in the past.
I have done in the past. Doing the work, maybe not questioning so much, maybe not analyzing everything so much, maybe actually following.
Okay, so this is where I go only for my programs and say, you know what, Jill, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to bring the old you into this program, don't register. And the reason why is don't take it personally, but I don't want you in the program because you're going to slow everyone else down. Yep. If you're committed, and I'll help you, if you're committed to being different than every other way that you showed up, then you know what? This may be a good program for you. But if you're going to bring the old Jill, go ahead and let's just part friends because it's not a good fit for you. That's where I would go with that. And then when you said, well, I tried everything, we already took that apart. When you've invested money, we've taken that apart. Is that you've invested money in the wrong places or things that haven't actually given you an ROI? All right, what else have you heard, or what else do you want to go over?
I know other people have questions about objections, so we can stay on that topic. I just wanted to ask you about alignment, but I can do that another day or another time.
Yeah, do that in the TCP.
Okay, yes, sir.
Got
All
it.
right, thank you.
Great, John. Thank you. Okay, who else has got objections? Guys, who else? Okay, Lynn, is that Lynn? Open up, if you would, please.
Hi, Jim. Okay, hi. So my question is when they say, I have to ask my husband or my spouse.
Okay, here, easy one. Okay, and this is always why, if you got somebody you have to talk to, let me just back up. I don't like that question, and the reason why is because what will happen is what's your price point, by the way?
$1,997.
Okay, here's what I don't like about that is the person, that's a buying signal for them. When they're actually telling you, I've got to ask my husband or my wife or what, that's a buying signal. But what happens is they go home and their husband and wife wasn't on the webinar or with you, right? So then they go home and the husband and wife says, nope, ain't going to do it. And then the whole thing gets shot down right there.
Yep.
Okay, there's a couple of places we can go with this. What is your product or training or program?
I help brand new coaches and I teach them how to sell.
Okay.
It's that's basically it in a nutshell.
Okay, so here's where we're going to go with this. First place I would go is, what are you expect? Okay, and we use a buffer first. You know what, Lynn? I definitely understand that. Lynn, let me ask you this. What are you wanting your husband to say to you? Or what are you expecting that your husband's going to say? And go with that.
He's probably going to, hem and haw and probably talk me out of it.
Okay. So what you're really saying is he's going to talk you out of a tool that's going to actually grow your business, which will actually make his life easier. So what you're saying is he's going to talk himself out of an easier life.
Yeah, because he doesn't think he doesn't take me, what I do, seriously. He doesn't think I can do it.
How do you know that?
Just by the things he says. It's almost like he placates me and says, sure, honey, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you're really saying, Lynn, is that you're giving all your power to your husband.
Yeah, I guess I do. I think yeah.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. So you go home, and if he says no, guess what? He's already proven that he's right, that you can't do it, because he's already cut you off at the knees before you've ever demonstrated you could do it.
Yep, that's what I do.
Right?
I cave.
Okay, so yeah, and you cave every time. So where's your business going to be a year from now if you cave?
I won't have much of a business.
Okay.
I've been caving. So now that you mention it, I've been caving. And I don't want to blame just him, but yeah, I just keep caving. I think I'm scared, and I let him say no on my behalf. I think I use him to say no.
Okay. What specifically are you scared of?
If I take this program and it doesn't work, and then it'll just prove that he was right.
Have you considered this? What if you took the program, you actually got involved with it, and it did work? Then what?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'd love to be able to say, see?
Okay.
Take that.
So you had started this whole conversation about it not working, but let's do this. Let's say that you take the program, and I already know that it works because I've sold blah, blah, blah amount of these. I already know that it works. So it's not a matter of if it works. It's a matter of if you work the program. But let's say, for example, that you hop on board and you want to actually prove your husband wrong that you can do this. Let's say that it works for you for a year. Where does it take you in life?
Well, I mean, I would love to be able to crack that 100K mark. So I think anything that got me closer to that, because so far I've only made around $12,000 coaching. Okay,
you'd love to take this program also, right?
Yes.
But notice what you're already doing. You're hemming and hawing and not being 100% responsible for your home life. So you're hoping to make $100,000. We don't hope to make 100. We have to be responsible for making 100. So let me ask you right now: are you going to be 100% responsible for your future, or are you going to give your responsibility to your husband?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's on me. It's on me. I'm in.
Well, see, I was going to say, Lynn, you're right. Guys, what I got her to see is it wasn't just the money; it's that she's giving all of her power away. That wasn't a typical response, but that's probably where most people come from, and especially women, when their husbands are out working corporate jobs and women want to build their businesses, they're coming from the same place. Then what happens many times is that they go home, the husband says, no, you've already spent enough money on that, and then she doesn't do it, and then what happens? She didn't grow the business, and then this is the control issue with a lot of men. So what happens is he is allowed to control the relationship because he controls the money.
Right.
But I see people like Jacqueline right above you here that maybe not played from that place in her past. She doesn't play from that place anymore. A theme that I would work from for all of you with women is, you know what? You're going to go home. Your husband's probably going to tell you no. You're going to cave. You're going to go right back in your old patterns. Lynn, let me ask you, when are you going to stand up and be 100% responsible for your own life? When are you going to become financially independent for your own life? Because right now, whether or not you want to admit it, he controls you. And as long as you allow that to happen, you're going to find yourself exactly where you are today.
Well, I resent that, Jim. And how do you know? Like that's what I worry that they're going to say if I go down that road.
Well, how do I know that? I know it because I have 25 years of experience coaching women and entrepreneurs and selling professionals. It's a common pattern that I see over and over and over. And what I just said, how do you know it's not true?
I don't know. You just don't know me and my marriage, so I don't know.
Doesn't matter. I don't need to know you and your marriage because guess what? Human beings are the same all over the world for the most part. And every person, for the most part, falls in the same category. And you know what? Whether or not you want to admit it, some part of what I just said resonates with you. That's why you're getting defensive and fighting back. So you know what? You can fight back all day long. That's entirely up to you. I can't help you if you play from that place. I'm telling you exactly what's happening. You can actually, you can follow, you cannot follow. But you know what we can't argue about? And what's true is that you're not where you want to be in life. And until you do something different, you're going to be exactly where you are. So what are you going to do differently?
Yeah. That's so good, Jim. So in other words, for me, coaching her, I always stop short of, oh, well, I'm not her therapist, or I'm not her, but I think I have to risk going that far, and then let them decide what's,
Well, let's look at it here. Let's look at it here. How effective of a coach are you being? Like, for example, I never let people off the hook. How effective of a coach are you being if you let people off the hook?
I totally agree. And I think that my strength as a coach, and what I'm always saying is, don't let yourself off the hook, by doing all this. So I think this is so nuanced, and this is so important. And so you modeling that, this actually hasn't ever happened or gone this far, but I love what you're saying. It's so helpful.
Well, thank you. So here's where I work from. Is like Jacqueline is on her third round of PCP with me now, I believe, right, Jacqueline? Okay. Jacqueline would not, and Jill's on her second, I believe. Jill's second, right? Aisha's on her fifth, I believe. And Beverly's been around for, a while. Here's where I work from. Is number one is people would not be staying, that will twist their arm. They would not be staying unless they're getting extreme value for the money they're investing. So the way that I look at it is I have an ethical responsibility to serve people. If I can make their life better, then I have an ethical responsibility to show them. I used to not be there. Where you are right now is you're like, well, I can help you. But you know what? I'm going to cave once you start putting up resistance. That's what people do, is they put up resistance. Why? Because we're oversold in this world. I mean, so many people are marketing, and there's so many programs. Patty's been around the block for a long time. There's so many programs that don't deliver. There's just so much stuff out there that's basically everybody goes to a marketing course. They pay $2,997 and learn how to market. They slap something together, and it's not that good. So all of us are jaded for the most part. So the reality is if your program does deliver, and no one's going to say they don't think it delivers, but I just see a lot of garbage out there. But here's where I work from is it's my responsibility to help you come to clarity about how this program can transform your life. Because if I look at Jacqueline for a second, I wonder where Jacqueline would be had she and I never met. Where would she be in her business? I know her life is a lot better off as a result of working with me. She's become a lot more powerful. Mm-hmm. So why would I not be, not aggressive, but why would I not be more direct about, this is the approach that I take. I'm going to grab you by the collar. I'm going to shake you because I want you to pay attention and I want you to listen to what I can do for you. And I'll even say things to people, guys, if somebody's fighting me, that's in the objection document. If somebody's fighting me, I'll say, you know what, Lynn, the whole time we've been talking and I've been showing you how I can help you actually grow your business. I don't know if you've recognized this, but you have been fighting me every step of the way. You have been fighting me to defend your status quo and your mediocrity. If you want me to assist you, I would be glad to. But you know what? There are a lot of people who need my help, and I'm not going to waste my time fighting you, trying to get you to believe that I can help you. And there are a lot of other people that do want my help. So right now, I'm going to request one of two things. You either listen and let me assist you, or we just stop talking about this and we move on. Mm-hmm. That's an approach, I just call it taking the gloves off, that I take with a lot of people, is that if they're fighting me, I will exert what's called frame control. And the frame control is, you know what? And I wouldn't say it this way, but the frame control is, you're the one coming to me wanting something. I'm not the one coming to you. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to actually, I'm at level 7 and you're at level 3, what I'm not going to do is reduce myself to level 3. Oh, please, let me help you. No, take it or leave it. But it's called frame control. And there are several videos on frame control. Yep. Just search the word frame control. Yep. That's always a place that I play from, is that I can assist you and you need me more than I need you. There was a guy who also knows his content, who teaches it. He's very, very ethical, but he's very good at it. And he tells his audiences, you know what? I don't need your money. As a matter of fact, my program is going to do far more for you than your money is going to do for me. So that's all frame control. All right. Any other questions, Lynn?
Yes, Jim. Just related to what you said earlier about pricing, my program is $997, and I believe in my heart that I should be selling it for $1997. Mm-hmm. But I have had advice people have said, well, you need to take it up incrementally to see what your audience or your market will bear, which doesn't quite make sense to me. And so what's your take on that? And should I just double the price?
Okay. So that's bad advice, whoever told you that. There are so many quasi-marketers out there, and there's some people that are really, really good. Here's the thing. Do you think Maserati or Rolls-Royce or Bentley should say, our cars are $79,000, maybe we should take it up to $85,000 to test our marketplace? When you market to your target market at the price point the program, at the price point you want the program to be. I never said, for example, I even did it before James did. When we started our first TCP group, meaning Transformational Coaching Group Program, we put it out at 1997. The very next one, I said, I'm increasing the price point to $29.97. What we may do is even go to $49.97, and actually, because like Jacqueline knows, they have access to the entire program. We may go to $49.97 and do it like a $19.97, but they don't have the contact with me on a weekly or at all times during the week. Don't know yet. But these people who tell you that's bad advice, and it frustrates, it just is what it is. But it's bad advice, and here's the reason why. Is because your marketplace is however you market yourself to your marketplace. And when people say, and then what a lot of people do also, let me give you another example here. I'm rambling here, but Caitlin, does anyone know Caitlin Batcher? Caitlin's programs are just to get enrolled. Okay, Jill does. I coach Caitlin one-to-one. Caitlin has no entry level to her programs. Her programs are $18,000 to start. Most people, 99.9% of people, are starting at $497, $997, $1997. She starts at $18,000, and what she shows people how to do is how to actually take your marketing, put it on Evergreen, and make $50,000 a month. And yeah, Jill, she is unapologetic about it, and her business does. And she's only been doing it 4 years. She's a school teacher, and she's making multiple millions of dollars per year, showing people how to evergreen their programs to the tune of $50,000 per month or more. So notice what she did. She didn't start at $997. She's at $18,000, but she markets that way. So these people telling you this, no. Market to the marketplace that you want at the price point that you want. But there's always going to be somebody in your marketplace that can afford your price point. I tell people all the time. You look at like one of my friends has an Aston Martin. He paid $325,000 for it. You don't see Aston Martin commercials on TV, but you know what? Aston Martin never says, oh my gosh, there's such a small percentage of the marketplace that can afford our vehicles. Maybe we should reduce the price point. They don't do it. Make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Thank you for that. That was very helpful.
Absolutely. And always work to the high end of the program, the high end of the marketplace, okay? Hang on. Jill said, I just sent an email out to a very small list for a $75 program, no clue of interest, and got 3 yeses in 24 hours. Okay, so what's happening right now? Well, congratulations, Jill. What's happening right now is we are all living in a very robust economy for people that have money. What's unfortunate, people don't know this, and the guy in the White House keeps talking about how great the economy is. Yet 79% of the American population lives paycheck to paycheck and has no money. That is a fact, paycheck to paycheck. So 21% of us do well. Those of us that are doing well, they're spending money. So what's going to happen? This happened prior to 2009. Internet marketers were pricing their products at $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 up until the big pop in 2009. And then all the big guys went back to $497 again, and now they're all creeping. Well, they haven't not creeping up. They already have the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a pop again. Just a cycle. So for right now, while the economy is doing well, I would definitely price at those price points. Okay. All right. Anyone else today? We got 9 minutes left, and I got to head out. Yes, Samantha.
A question following on from the doubling your pricing thing. I introduced a new product last week, and I'm teaching it live, and it's all very like nothing's made or anything like that. So I went with a low price point because it's nothing made. So how would you go about pricing high if it's brand new?
You're working backwards also. Is if you talk to Jay Abraham, Patty knows who he is. There's two mega, like just undisputable marketing legends. Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham. And Jay Abraham will sell from the stage for a high dollar, like $25,000 for a program or $50,000 for a program. He hasn't created anything. What we marketers do is we sell the program and then we deliver it. What I used to do is backwards. I used to create the program and then sell it. That's backwards. You know my friend Brandon Lucero? Okay. Brandon's Video Forex program. He did it the easy way, and I used to do things the hard way. The easy way is let me conceive the program, let me lay it out, let me sell it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver the program, and as I deliver it, now I'm creating content so that I don't have to create it anymore. So that's the easy way, and it's live, and it's real, and people are talking. The way you're trying to do it is create the product first and then put it out. You literally don't have the cart before the horse. You got 3 carts before the horse. Keep on going.
Okay. Well, I've actually sold like 6 spaces on a workshop before creating anything. So, so I have sold it, but price point wise, it's like $200. So it's very low compared to a lot of things. But it's literally a brand new, not something that I'm known for thing.
So Samantha, let me tell you something. And I hope, and if anybody's offended, it has nothing to do with me. It's just offending your beliefs and your values. Is people buy what they're told to buy. Okay, you guys have to get that. And if you want the best example of that, you look at the 2016 U.S. presidential election. That was full of persuasion and influence. Even the Make America Great Again was, number one, that was crafted by Roger Stone, who's now I think he's under indictment. But he actually crafted that for Ronald Reagan back in 1984. Ronald Reagan, if you go to YouTube, you'll find the same thing when he's in New York City saying, let's make America great again. He got that from Roger Stone. Now, here's the thing. Make America Great Again is a phenomenal marketing foundation. Why? Because he's running for the presidency, which is very patriotic, very American. And his whole statement, this whole marketing positioning is that America is no longer great again. So for people that are flag waving Americans, that makes them feel bad, which is pain. We move from pain to pleasure. So his whole marketing campaign was meant to move people from pain to pleasure, and he's the solution to that pain. So people bought, which they do in every president, every election, they buy marketing campaigns. But what I want you to get is people buy what they're told to buy, because 99% of people won't ever question what the marketing is that's coming to them. So you're telling me, what you're really telling me is that you're working from inside your head to the marketplace. And where you are inside your head is, well, no one knows this. Well, you know what? It's your job to actually tell them what it is. I don't read the news anymore. But I saw a headline where, I don't know much about her. It's not political at all. But Elizabeth Warren, I mean, I know she was a Harvard professor, which means she's probably a pretty bright lady in terms of scholastic ability. And I read this headline that said she's losing because and Hillary did the same thing. She's losing because her campaign is too fact-based, analytical-based. Donald Trump sold what people buy. This is brilliant marketing. He bought what people buy. People buy values. They don't buy statistics. They don't buy features and benefits. They buy values. And what he sold to his purchasing marketplace was he sold Americanism. He sold isolationism, he sold the borders, and he made a common enemy, which was the Chinese, the Mexicans, and who else was it? Someone else, I guess. But here's what you all have to get, please, is we don't buy statistics and features and benefits and numbers and even reputation. We buy values. And when you sell to people's values, people will buy. So what you have to look at, Samantha, and everyone, is what are the highest values in my marketplace? Which is what Donald Trump sold to. He sold to the highest values, which was Americans believe they want to live in a great country. They believe that, and also, I'm just going to keep on going here for a second. This border wall thing, it's a national emergency. Well, from what I read, I think 6,000 people have been killed from illegal immigrants crossing the border in the last 6 years. Yet, I think the numbers are off a little bit, but they're close. 43,000 people per year die of drunk driving. Well, wouldn't drunk driving be a national emergency before a border wall where, there's 6 times or 7 times as many people being killed? But that's the power of appealing to values. So all of you have to look at what are the highest values of my marketplace. That is what you sell to. Not the price point, not the features, not the benefits, none of that, because people do not buy that. Does that make sense, Samantha?
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And every one of you, I'm talking to every one of you, is people buy the values first, or they buy the universal wants and needs. And those, Patty, you know what I mean? They're beauty, like women, every woman everywhere in the world wants to be beautiful. They're buying beauty, they're buying convenience, they're buying easy, they're buying freedom. Patty, what else are they buying?
Security. Like a big one is status. So when you compare yourself to the Joneses, that's another one.
That's really good. People buy, thank you, Patty. People always want to increase their emotional state. This is hardwired in the brain. Babies, for example, when they're in the crib, they're crying because they want to be held, they want their diaper changed, or they want to be fed. They're wanting to go to a higher emotional state. Every one of you, please get this, is that your prospect wants to go to a higher emotional state. Right now on the front screen, I see Melissa. Melissa enrolled in TCP because she wanted to go to a higher emotional state. And actually, as even evidenced by her video in the TCP group last week, is that she's now experiencing a higher emotional state, which makes her happy, which makes her life more fulfilled. That's literally what she's investing in, not the PDFs, not the weekly calls. She's investing in expansion. Every one of you, I want you to get that as well. Please get this. This is vital. We'll call it a day. Is the only reason people invest in your program is they're wanting to create expansion in their life. You could even say, well, why are people buying Ferraris? Well, that's the expansion of, you know what, the fun of driving. Or other people are going to say, holy cow, look at you. You have a Ferrari, which is expansion of social presence, social status. So they're buying expansion. If you want people to buy what you're selling, appeal to their highest values and sell expansion. That's how you pull people in. And then charge for that, Samantha. You're not charging for that. What you're charging for is the last possible thing we should be charging for is, okay, so here's a phone, right? And if I said, you know what, here is a mechanical box and it's got a little bit of platinum in it, and it's got some glass and a plastic case, you're selling the extrinsic value. And the extrinsic value of this phone is probably including labor. I don't know. What does a phone cost to make? Does anyone know what a new iPhone costs to make, actual cost? Maybe $300? That's what you're selling, Samantha. But what if, for example, this phone can connect me with billionaires all over the world who want to do business with me? So now it's not the extrinsic value of the phone, it's the intrinsic value. And if somebody said, you know what, Jim, I will sell you this phone, and it's going to have the numbers of 10 billionaires who will all take your call. Richard Branson, blah, 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 and they're all going to take your call, but I'm going to charge you $25,000 for this phone. Well, I will pay you $25,000 for this phone if I wanted it. But that's the intrinsic value. But the extrinsic value is just the cost of this little hunk of piece of metal, glass, whatever it is. That's how you're selling your programs, extrinsically as opposed to intrinsically. Like I was talking to someone earlier. You sell for the value that it creates, not the mechanical cost of the product. Does that make sense, Samantha?
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that wraps us up for SPA today. I will catch all you guys in another couple of weeks. Everyone stay well. You TC peers, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.